Welcome to Illuminati Silver. We tell you the truth about silver. Today is Sunday, the 6th of September 2020. And earlier today we published a video entitled, Why Have Central Banks Slowed Down Their Gold Purchases? Where we highlighted that according to the World Gold Council, gold purchases made by central banks in the first half of 2020 are considerably down compared with recent years. And we offer explanations as to why this may be the case. And we've placed a link to this video, plus our normal gold and silver weekly update in the description box below. Now, in Saturday's update, we highlighted that despite a rise in US COVID-19 infections, economic data suggests a potentially faster than expected recovery in jobs, though most economists admit that it may indeed take some years before pre-COVID rates of employment will be reached again. We also pointed out that equity markets are vulnerable, and many analysts and political commentators are suggesting that we should not be surprised to see significant volatility in the various exchanges as we approach the November the 3rd presidential election. Now, in this video podcast, we're going to appease those who have criticized us for being perhaps too dour on silver, not enthusiastic enough, not paying appropriate attention to those expecting silver to skyrocket to the moon. So we thought we would share two articles with you today, which does suggest very positive news for silver moving forward. The first is published by investingnews.com, which shows what the highest price has been for silver, how that was achieved, and how silver can be purchased in its various forms. We found that article quite interesting. And the second is from Bloomberg, highlighting how a veteran silver bug for over 20 years and longer, a serious investor, is now, today, a happy man. We shall play both of these back to back, and then comment at their conclusion. Investing News article dated August 25th, 2020. What was the highest price for silver? Although the white metals price has experienced volatility since the start of 2020, many silver-focused investors believe that a bull market for the precious metal is on its way. Experts are optimistic, and as a result, some market watchers are beginning to price forecast and ask themselves, what was the highest price for silver? The answer to that question reveals how much potential there is for the silver price to rise. Read on for a look at how historical silver prices have moved and what that means for both the current silver price and the white metals price in the future. How is silver traded? Before discovering what the highest silver price ever was, it's worth looking at how the precious metal is traded. Knowing the mechanics behind historical silver prices in terms of how the metal changes hands can be useful in understanding why and how its price changes. Put simply, silver bullion is traded in dollars and cents per ounce, with market activity taking place worldwide at all hours, resulting in a live silver price. Key commodity markets like New York, London and Hong Kong are just a few locations where investors trade the metal. London is considered the centre of physical silver trade, while the COMEX division of the New York Mercantile Exchange, or NYMEX, is where most paper trading is done. There are two popular ways to go about investing in silver. The first is through purchasing silver bullion products such as bullion bars, bullion coins, silver rounds. Physical silver is sold on the spot market, meaning that in order to invest in silver this way, buyers pay a specific price for the metal, the silver price per ounce, and then have it delivered immediately. The second is accomplished through paper trading, which is done via the futures market, with participants entering into futures contracts for the delivery of silver in the future at an agreed upon price. In such contracts, two positions can be taken: a long position to accept delivery of the metal, or a short position to provide delivery of the metal. Paper trading might sound like a strange route to take when one wants to invest in silver, but it can provide investors with flexibility that they wouldn't get from buying and selling bullion. The most obvious advantage is perhaps the fact that trading in the paper markets mean silver investors can benefit long-term from holding silver without needing to store it. Furthermore, futures trading can offer more financial leverage in that it requires less capital than trading in the physical market. It's worth noting that supply chains disruptions caused by the coronavirus have recently made it very difficult to buy physical silver. Travel restrictions and other factors have left dealers with limited products to sell and have pushed up premiums on physical silver. That means even those who can find silver bullion products for sale may see such higher markups than usual. As a final point, market participants should be aware that they can also invest in silver through an exchange-traded fund. Investing in a silver ETF is similar to trading a stock on an exchange, and there are several silver ETF options to choose from. For instance, some ETFs focus solely on physical silver bullion, while others focus on silver futures contracts. Still, others focus on the silver mining market itself or follow live silver prices. It's important to keep in mind that you will not own any physical silver when investing in any ETF platforms. Even a silver ETF that tracks physical silver cannot be redeemed for tangible white metal. Historical silver price action. Silver hit $48.70 an ounce, the highest silver price to date towards the end of the 1970s. However, the purchase price didn't exactly reach that level by honest means. As Investopedia explains, the metal's bid price was driven by the Hunt brothers, two wealthy traders who attempted to corner the market by buying not only physical silver but also silver futures. They then took delivery of that silver instead of taking legal tender in the form of cash settlements. Their exploits ultimately ended in disaster. On March the 27th, 1980, they missed a margin call and the silver market price plunged to $11. Despite that price action, silver's highest average annual price didn't come until 2011, when it hit $35.12 on the stock market. The commodity price uptick came on the back of very strong silver investment demand and was more than double the 2009 average silver price of $14.67. 2011 was also the year that silver hit its highest price in recent years. The below chart from Kitco spans from the start of 2011, January, to late August 2020. It shows that the silver price reached $47.94 in April 2011 before plummeting in the years that followed. The chart also shows the current upward trend in the silver price, which has been spurred on by the economic uncertainty surrounding the COVID-19 pandemic. The price of silver breached the key $26 level in early August and soon after tested the $30 level. Will the silver price continue its upward trajectory? Only time will tell. But long-time precious metals guru David Morgan of the Morgan Report is confident silver bugs are in for a treat. In an interview with the Investing News Network, Morgan said that the $26 level is a key milestone. Beyond that, he expects silver to be able to push past $50, where it has stalled twice before in the past. When you have a big resistance or a big support level and they're taken out, it usually takes 3 times as a minimum. So we stalled at $50 in 1980. We stalled at $50 in 2011. The next time, though, will be the 3rd time, and I'm pretty certain that $50 will be taken out, Morgan explained. Like other metals, the silver spot price is most heavily influenced by supply and demand dynamics. However, as the stats above illustrate, the silver price can be very volatile. That is partially due to the fact that the metal is subject to both investment and industrial demand within the global markets. In other words, it's bought by investors interested in using it as a store of wealth, as well as by manufacturers looking for it to use it for different applications. Those applications are incredibly varied. Silver has diverse technological applications and is used in devices like batteries and catalysts, but it's also used in medicine and the automotive industry. In terms of supply in 2019, the world's 3 top producers of the metal were Mexico, Peru and China. Interestingly, even in those countries, the white metal is usually produced as a byproduct. For instance, a mine producing primarily gold might also have silver output. Beware silver price manipulation. As a final note on the price of silver and buying silver bullion, it's important for investors to be aware that manipulation of bullion prices is a major issue in the space. In 2015, 10 banks were hit in a US probe on precious metals manipulation. Evidence provided by Deutsche Bank showed smoking gun proof that UBS Group, HSBC Holdings, the Bank of Nova Scotia, and other firms were involved in rigging silver rates in the market from 2007 to 2013. JP Morgan Chase has been long at the centre of silver manipulation claims as well. For years, the company has been in and out of court for the accusations, and more recent developments saw 3 traders at the firm charged with a massive multi-year scheme to manipulate markets. They reportedly placed deceptive orders for gold, silver, platinum and palladium futures contracts on exchanges run by CME Group. While that might sound disheartening, in 2014, the London Silver Market Fixing stopped administering the London Silver Fix, which had been used for over a century to fix the price of silver. It was replaced by the LBMA Silver Price, which is run by the LBMA, CME Group and Thomson Reuters in a bid to increase market transparency. Furthermore, market watchers like Ed Steer have said that the days of silver manipulation are numbered and that the market will see a significant shift when the time finally comes. Investors' takeaway. Whilst there's a concrete answer to the question what was the highest price for silver, it's anyone's guess whether it will reach those heights once again. Even so, many market watchers say prospects are bright for buying silver, and no matter the current state of the market, investors will no doubt be watching to see how the metal fares this year and beyond. Bloomberg article dated September 6, 2020. Headline: Silver's brilliant year validates long-time bugs enthusiasm, by Eddie Spence. Ned Naylor Leyland has been all in on silver for 18 years, earning derision along the way from fellow investors favouring the more glamorous gold. Now, with silver's price skyrocketing 51% this year, he's got reason to feel vindicated. The manager of the $1 billion Merion Gold and Silver Fund in London proudly calls himself a silver bug, a term describing an investor whose fervour for the precious metal is more extreme than the typical bullion enthusiasts. The bugs foresee a crash of the fiat cash system in the aftermath of unprecedented monetary stimulus, putting silver back in play as a viable currency. Their core tenet is that gold's cheaper, more volatile cousin will continue surging in value. I've been waiting since 2002 for the inevitable demise of this monetary system, Naylor Leyland said. I've been standing there waving on the top of a hill for the last 20 years, and suddenly everyone's pointing at me and saying, "That man's a genius." They have plenty of forebears. The Coinage Act of 1873 demonetized the metal in the United States, sparking backlash against the government and allegations of corruption from the Silverites. The most notorious speculators were the Hunt brothers, 3 sons of a Texas oil billionaire whose fear of inflation and belief in the metal as a store of wealth prompted them to try and corner the global market in 1980. They stockpiled more than 200 million ounces, driving the price to $49.45 before it crashed below $11. Now the bugs are having another moment. The metal has had an outstanding year, with its gain almost double gold's. The rise has come off the back of a weakening dollar, plunging real rates and geopolitical tensions, all of which give investors motivation to seek haven in precious metals. But that gain is nothing to most silver bugs who foresee even higher prices because they believe more people will lose faith in the value of government-issued currency. Just read their Reddit Inc. message board with 47,000 members or the online silver forum with almost 12,000. Silver's got its animal instincts back, Naylor Leyland said. People have spotted it and they're interested in it. Not everyone is on board though. Jeffrey Christian, managing director of New York-based commodities research firm CPM Group, has heard the story before. These guys have been waiting for the collapse of the global financial system for 40 to 50 years, he said. Nothing you can do can make them think they're looking at the world the wrong way. The disciples point to evidence suggesting they're right. Physical silver bars, the preferred investment vehicle for die-hard bugs, currently are in short supply, with refiners struggling to keep up with demand from dealers. The delays also can be attributed to silver being less valuable than gold, so smelting enough bars to produce a quantity worth investing in is more labour-intensive. Whatever production there was took another hit when refineries shut down earlier this year because of the coronavirus pandemic. For other silver bug favourites like coins, investors are paying far more than the spot price to get hold of them. Gregor Gregerson, founder of Singapore-based dealer Silver Bullion Pte, said premiums for American Eagle and Maple Leaf coins currently are about double the usual due to scarcity. Retail investors' thirst for silver is also tapping into exchange-traded funds, which added more than 8,800 tons of the metal this year. They're particularly popular with the Robin Hood markets crowd, which prefers to invest digitally rather than by purchasing bars and coins. The number of users buying into the largest silver ETF, the iShares Silver Trust or SLV, more than doubled in the month leading to August 13, when the app stopped publishing the data. But to the old-fashioned silver bugs, ETFs aren't worth the paper or smartphone screen they're written on. They allege the funds are backed by metal that doesn't exist and are a tool designed by banks to absorb investor demand and curb prices. In this market, the only thing that counts is physical, says Gisbert Groenewegen, a co-founder of hedge fund Gold Arrow Capital Management, who quit in 2011 to run a firm investing in silver miners. Physical and in your own possession. Well, we found both articles interesting. Now, we pointed out yesterday that we are expecting silver really to oscillate in the price range of between $28 to $30 this coming week, with both upside and downside potential of a couple of dollars either side, but most likely to remain within that bracket. Moving forward and taking a longer-term view, we also have to consider whether, as the economy picks up again, assuming that it will, shall we see silver prices rising faster as a result of an increase in industrial demand, compared with any fall in demand for it as a security or monetary or hedging metal? It's also fair to ask, has silver now caught the imagination of both the public and the investment community to such an extent that it may not fall significantly from current levels and may re-establish its longer-term relationship with gold, with much lower gold to silver ratios, lower even than the recent lows of 71 to 1, which we are now currently witnessing? Now, we've stated for nearly 2 years that the 2020s will be the decade for precious metals, and especially gold and silver. Where within that time period they will peak and at what level, no one really knows for certain. But that said, we do not see a sudden dollar collapse or a single incident that will spurt their prices to extraordinary figures overnight. What is more than likely to happen is a gradual grind upwards, with dips in between, placing precious metal prices and precious metals themselves in what we regard as their rightful place within the investment conclave. What do you think? Do share your thoughts, and meanwhile, if you haven't already done so, please subscribe to this channel, not forgetting to press the bell sign so that you're notified of our videos as and when they are published. We hope you have found this video interesting and informative, and if so, please give it a thumbs up and share it on social media. Please ensure that you have subscribed to our channel and press the bell sign so that you are notified of any future videos. Also, kindly visit our website at illuminatisilver.com, and if you haven't already done so, please subscribe either as a free or paying member for regular email updates and offers. Disclaimer: Illuminati Silver owners come from a background of banking, international wealth management and economics. Having now retired from these worlds, we are not qualified to give investment advice. Therefore, this and other productions must not be deemed to be giving such advice and merely represent the personal views of its owners.